Hello, welcome back to Trade Empires, the Silk Road, with me, by Jingo. And this time, hopefully, I've got the what's becoming a trademark. Hello, welcome to Trade Empires, with me, by Jingo. The last video, for some reason, it got cut off just at that critical point, and I thought, well, I'm not going back and processing the entire video again, just to get me going. Hello. So unfortunately, that didn't make the cuts, but. What did make the cuts was me and part two. So I had a bit of a think. That was it, really. I just had a quick look around the map for about 5 minutes before saying, well, I'm here now, I may as well start recording. And how best to take advantage of the situation. So I tried to do, last time, just built markets across where all the temples are. I think I've caught all of them. The Jade Gates. There's one there. Gotcha. Jiahuan. I am not going to be able to keep up with all of these names. That seems quite similar to like Jiaxing or something like that. Insofar as they both start with J-I-A, which is enough to confuse me. Right, I was looking through my routes, and we've got Silk Palace, China, which is empty at this site. So I was thinking a lot, tossing and turning in bed last night, thinking about silk and cinnamon. Well, the transportation thereof, rather than the goods themselves. Be a weird thing to dream about. Cinnamon. I mean, I don't have cinnamon. I find it quite distasteful. It's a bit strong for me. And what I was thinking was, I could turn this into a local cinnamon route. And then take some cinnamon from the Jade Gates. Take that cinnamon, go to Antioch, and then at Antioch pick up incense, and then take that back. And then in Antioch have the incense made in Antioch, supply Antioch, and then basically send the incense to other parts. So like the temples in Parthia. I think I will build a path up to there. It's a pain, but needs to be done. Hectompolis. Hectompolis. That sounds all right to me. It's just so out of the way. Good. So I hope. I don't know if I actually get around to watching these at the weekend. That's when I've decided there's a good time to release them. Midday on a weekend, if I've got something to post up. I know one person watched the last video. Well, watched most of it. I have a single view from one person with an average viewer duration of 1.5 hours. So I don't know if they were still watching it or they got 1.5 hours into a 2-hour video and said, no, I can't do it anymore. But I wasn't able to tell who it was because there wasn't enough views on there to get demographic data. So I couldn't really pinpoint on it to get a country or age range. Or there might have been 35 to 40. I don't know. Or maybe that was a different thing. Then I got stuck down the rabbit hole of looking at analytics, and these recent videos have been very big with people from, see if we can remember this right, the Netherlands, Serbia, and Bulgaria. So aside from the Dutch aspect, I'm apparently very big in the Balkans, and it's all right with me. I don't mind the Balkans. I mean, they seem to be a hotspot for a lot of global conflicts, but aside from that, I've got no problem. Not like Bismarck, who I think was on record as saying that the Balkans aren't worth the bones of a single Pomeranian grenadier. And it's a good phrase, I'm glad I remembered that. Anyway, less about Bismarck, more about cinnamon. It's a phrase that you don't hear every day. So I'll pick up some cinnamon from northern Jingji. Just make sure I've got all of this sorted. Okay, so going back to Silk Palace, China. I got that wrong. So you do that bit, you go to Western Chanang, then you go to Northern Jining. You don't go to Northern Jining because I've not built a... You'd think I'd learn by now. Oh, you would have thought it would have been almost like muscle memory to build a market, then build a caravanserai. But no, I'm going to continue making this mistake, and you're going to continue watching me make this mistake, and you know, sigh quietly to yourself as you wonder why am I watching this clown. You're only watching me because I've got monopolistic control of the market for Let's Plays of trade empires, and I'm abusing that monopolistic control to put out this content. Northern Jingji, pick up 4 cinnamon and then drop off 1 at northwestern Chanang. Shall I have the game on at half speed just so something's happening? So at least time's passing somewhat. Lianzhou, that's another one. Or Lianzhou. 2. That's the one, Jianhuang. Again, just butchering these Chinese names because me and foreign pronunciations. Oh, I understand the words all right, sort of. I do remember when I went to Budapest once, and the guidebook says, pretty frankly, said because Hungarian is different from most of the European languages. I think it's got Finno-Ugric roots as opposed to Indo-European roots. A bit like Basque in that respect. So it doesn't even have the same grammatical structure or sentence structure or even phonetic structure. It said, here's a list of words, here's the translations for common phrases in Hungarian, but we recommend you don't try them because although it may sound like if you'd be able to read it out and have it sound right, it just won't. I thought, that's refreshingly honest of them. Animal husbandry, that's a long route. I think that's about right. I could be talking out of my posterior, but I do remember reading it in the guidebook. I mean, credit to them, they did provide the translation, but they did come with a caveat saying, yeah, this it won't be particularly helpful, probably. Now, Dunhuang. Don't know why I said that. That route that's just got the promotion. Antioch, Cinnamon Palace, something. It's going to get an upgrade. So it's going to go here, 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 here. And then rather than go to Southern Apnea to pick up bronze, instead pick up incense. But I'm not quite sure where from yet. There will do. Western Legion 3, or Western Legion the 3rd. Huh. That's a little predates it a little bit. The I don't know, 59 BC. I think Rome had got to this part of the world by then. Because most of the expansion of Rome took place during its Republican years. There's very few conquests actually took place during the imperial phase. You had wine 1, famine relief, because wine is a foodstuff. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the only territorial expansions under the imperial region, I think, were Britain under Claudius, the constant shifting in Mesopotamia. I think one of the Gordians did quite well with that and then died and then got... Was it Gordian III who died and then was succeeded by his lieutenant, who is known to posterity as Philip the Arab, and he was emperor during Rome's millennial celebrations, and then there was Thrace or Dacia or Dacia, and the Balkans essentially under Trajan. Oh. I forgot I was playing a game then. We'll go back to Salt Palace, Antioch, Cinnamon Palace, Antioch. So you do cinnamon. Yeah, forget that. It'll also stop bronze mirrors becoming saturated, which is not what I want. Then you go to Eastern Aegean. Now this is where things get radically different. Then you go to Western Legion III. With a whole bunch of incense. And now I don't know whether or not to just go straight to China, go directly to China, do not pass go, do not collect £200. I think I will do. So we'll forget about Ecbatana. Also, I've got to apologise for clearing my throat and things like that. Seem to have got a cold somehow. I had a cold all last week and I was like, how? I've not been anywhere. Yeah, never mind. So just go straight to Chanang and let's hope that there's enough demand for incense to... we don't have to hope. Go directly to Liangzhou. And again to Western Chanang? Northwestern Chanang. Not far off. Okay. And then you go to Dunhuang to pick up some cinnamon and then continue the route. So at least something's being done midway through. Keep the soldiers because, you know, you don't have to pay to rehire them. They're $40 whether it's a 2-stop route or it's a 20-stop route, so may as well keep them for 20 stops. And then just upgrade that. So that's cinnamon incense. Now let's set up incense locally for Antioch and the surrounding temples. Mopsuestia. There we go. Hey, it's quite fun, this, isn't it? There's also some figs there. Let's hope it doesn't grow into something splendid, though it doesn't matter because incense isn't demanded by houses. It's plebeians not appreciating the finer things in life. Now it might be... Now here's a time when it might be convenient to actually build a seaport. Because you go to the seaport, river port, go to Antioch, then turn into a thing. But that seems like a faff. So I'm just going to build a road that's probably going to cost more. In the short term it's going to cost more, but you think about how many times that merchant would have to change transporter. And every time you change transporter, you lose a bit of money. Okay, let's have incense. Antioch. Local. Mophuestia on a wheel tray. That's 4 incense. We'll take you to the Eastern Aegean. And then to Antioch itself. And then Ecbatana and Western Herat and Hectompilos. Strange that it's Western Herat, even though it's right next to the palace, the temple there. That's usually a sign that I've got it right. Never mind. Now, is there something I can pick up in Parthia to bring back? Not yet, but I have a feeling later on in this scenario you can. Currently there's brass lamps and bronze, but neither of that is worth my time. Let's have some unlucky beggar that's got to try to go across 5 regions with bandits, unarmed. What's the point? That's got to eat into my profit, isn't it? Perhaps I can skimp on 1 guard. So if we get an escape artist, no, persuasion. So at least when he does get captured, it won't cost me anything. I could take incense to Samarkand, but there's very little point, at least for the time being. Again, there might be something. Some luxury that develops later in the game that makes Samarkand and the Tarim Basin and all these places a lot more worthwhile. So I'm rather happy that I've managed to stop the flow of bronze mirrors to these palaces, or stem the flow because they were at risk of affecting my profit margins. There's nothing that these people particularly can offer me. Although what I am thinking, that's dangerous. Got the Tarim Basin, you've got they'll take fur coats, that's got to count for something. What I'm thinking is, I'm looking at the cotton route. And I dislike this. This is such a... It's a red herring. Because what the game is telling you to do is to use up merchants. So you'll finance merchants to keep towns happy here. See, cotton cloth is still not satiated, and I've got 2 people on that route. What I am thinking to dull the pain is, can I pick up something while I'm in Chanang? I'm thinking taking cinnamon to... Yes. Kucha and the other one. No, they'll take it. So we'll have a cinnamon station at Western Jingji. How many Jingjis are there? Also, that's equidistant. In fact, that looks... Kunai, Jingji... I don't know where Anding is supposed to be. But that is nowhere near Jingji. Oh, hello. Hands off me silk. Good. Now, before I forget, Caravanserai, and we go back to the cotton route, or the cloth route. When you go to southern Guinai, then go back to western Jingji. Pick up 4 cinnamon. Yeah, because local cinnamon at the Jade Gates has already been taken care of. And it's not getting me extra points, but it is getting me a bit of extra money. And I like extra money. Ooh, gemstones. You see, something's happening now. So I best pause. I don't want stuff to happen when I'm not ready for it. Cinnamon, and then kucha. And now you can go back to Nia. But whether I want you to is another matter. Caravanserai there, and the production building. Have another weaver here. Rather than depending entirely on these lazy bums here, who see fit to stop producing cotton just because they're not making a profit from it, just vary my supply a little bit. So you go to southern Aksu. Pick up 2 iconoclasm due to religious reforms in Parthia, prevents any purchases by local religious buildings. So that puts paid to that incense plan. Never mind. That's it. Let's keep those soldiers on board since they're pretty much free. There. And that should work. Now let's talk gemstones. Ooh. Rubies there. There's rubies here. There's amethysts here. There's amethysts here as well. Wow, loads of amethysts. Okay, so I probably couldn't sell amethyst jewellery here, but I could sell rubies here. I'm getting ahead of myself because there's not actually a thing yet. Is there another one? There's amethyst, ruby. Whatever happened to lapis? Silk Palace, Antioch. Good stuff. Probably leadership's not a bad one for you. All those crossings you'll be making. Get off me cotton. People at home will not be happy. They're already clamouring for the stuff. So amethyst and ruby. That's a shame. I thought there might be another one. What happened to lapis? That used to be made in Parthia. So we've got gold here. Amethyst there. Gold smelting, fantastic. And now we just need to put the two together. Oh, nice. So to say it's a quite a lowly good for paupers. I seem to be making an awful lot of money off of cotton. Good. I think that event expired before it even came to affect anything. Jewellery making. Here we go. A new commodity, golden amethyst jewellery, golden ruby jewellery. Right, so we've got gold here, we've got amethyst here. We've got gold here, a lot of gold, and ruby here. A lot of ruby there. And in the Turin Basin we've got gold and ruby here as well. Okay. There's something I can do with this, but I'm not sure what it is. Oh, you take gold and ruby. The demand's not great, is it? I'd rather have 3 stacks. Something like that. Right. It's time to kick into action. Start with Chanang. There's 2 palaces, 2 temples, and they don't produce anything, so they'll take both amethyst and ruby. In Antioch, they already make amethyst themselves, so we'll be unimpressed with ruby, with amethyst rings. But we can bring ruby in from Samarkand. So if we go Samarkand to Antioch, Parthia to Chanang, Turin Basin to Chanang, and that should fix something. I'm not happy with where the gold is located though. In fact, there's only 2 gold mines, that's rubbish. And what will come back on the return journey? What's the furs route look like? Again, that's furs going out, but nothing's coming in. I mean, Lulan will take... We'll take something. Might take some silk. But there's not a great deal that they'll take. Could take some wine. Perhaps we're overdoing this idea of having 2-way routes. It's just efficient though, isn't it? Here's something to consider. We've got Antioch local. It goes to Hectopolis. Problem with that is that's in Persia. And Persia doesn't produce rubies. But what I can do is instead of going to Hectopolis, go to somewhere like Merv. Right. Yes, I'm seeing it now. Go to Merv, then go to... There's 2 gold there and a ruby there. Ooh, actually fits in the trading post. Or would do. Oh, game, you got me all excited then. Oh. I thought I'd be able to get in the radius of just a trading post, but no. Western Margarita. Fine. And then wherever this place is. No. We'll go to here instead. Okay, we won't. The Oxus River. Huh. So when that country's called Transoxiana, that's the Oxiana that it's talking about. Huh. I learned something new today. Admittedly, it's not particularly useful, quite niche. Very niche. I mean, who's heard of Transoxiana? Unless you're familiar with Europa Universalis 4 and play quite a bit in the region. If you play as a steppe nomad in Europa Universalis 4, you'll be well acquainted. Let's not skimp on the road. There we go. And the usual thing, a smelter here. And a jeweller. Hey, we're broken 6 figures. When did that happen? And then let's have a look at Incense Antioch Local. And again, rather than going to Hectompelos, we'll go to Merv. We then go to Western. No, go to Oxus River. Pick up 4 rubies. Go to Western Margarita. Or Margiana. Come out with 4 gold rubies. Ah, no, don't go to Western. Don't go to Merv with incense. Go to Western Merv. Demand is slightly higher. Right, once you've gone to Western Margiana, go to regular Merv. M. Whatever the palace here is called. Western, no, that's a temple. Ekbatana. And then your 2 palaces here. They essentially have the same name. They're just a G or manifestations thereof. Is it Eastern a G? Yes, it is. I thought it was Western a G for a second. Good. Now, if somebody's already on that route, incense, ruby, Antioch Local. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having an amethyst route to Antioch. It's just not priority. Ooh. Not like getting amethysts to Chang'an. Now, the nearest amethysts to Chang'an are in... God, they're miles away. Parthia. Fine. What can I do with that? I can take cinnamon and silk out of Chang'an to Western Herat, Hectomulus. Take some amethysts, go back to Chang'an. Because so far as I know, cinnamon Yeah, the cinnamon's going directly to Antioch. You should be going to Western Merv. And Western Herat. Oh, that's irritating. Western Herat. I knew this would happen. There's just the number of markets. There's just too many. So in fact, forget about these markets entirely. It's worth checking. Do palaces demand cinnamon, or are they going to be stuck there forever? Sort of. Who's on that route? Also, who is on that route? Oh, he hasn't even started yet. Incense Antioch local. No. You got another one. What's the route called? Cinnamon Palace. Well, you managed it. Okay. So with that, let's go to Parthia. Where's the gold? There's a bit down there. There's a bit up there. Ooh, that's convenient. Oh, it would be convenient. There. That's a shame. I thought that wheat field was a gold mine. That's not bad, but there's no amethysts nearby. That's the best option, actually. Just increase that to include the amethyst mine. Have the gold mine up here. Western Zadrakata. Now that's one I didn't have problems pronouncing. We'll have a smelter, please, and a jeweler. Now, new routes. China, amethyst. Yeah, that's not bad for first time. So go to Ektomphalos. Actually, no. Start in Chanang. There's plenty of cinnamon there. Go to Western Jinang. Or Jinji, sorry. Pick up 4. Then go all the way to Western Herat. And to that place up north, I've already forgotten the name of, Hectomphalos. Then go to Western Zadrakata. That has got to be the last. I don't know. If I was to find regular Zadrakata, that would be bottom of the list. So got 4, with 2, go to Hectompolis, pick up 4, go to Western Zadrakata, pick up 4. Now, go to Chanang, and can we risk selling jewellery to the temples? And the answer is maybe. Yeah, I'll take that risk. Where's the other palace that was down there? Okay, so then you go back to Liangzhou. Over to Western Chanang. But I hope the clicks line up with the. I don't get out of sync with the clicks and the thing on the screen. That happens sometimes. I have to go through and like shift the sound like fraction of a second the other way, but it makes all the difference if you like click here, and then you'll be able to hear the clicking of the mouse that's just a little bit off, and it's a terrible thing. Northwestern Jiangnan, and then to Jingji. Right. Hoping it's such a long route that the temples will build up enough demands to make this happen. Good, you go to Western Genji, then you go to... Yeah, you go to Western Genji and you pick up a whole bunch of soldiers. Well, I don't think there's any... I was going to say I don't think there's any barracks, but I haven't so far come across... Barracks don't do anything in this scenario yet. I don't know. Right, who wants a long and arduous route? Well, you'll do. You'll probably get captured at some point. Right, now what do we do about China Ruby? Something similar, I should imagine. There's Kokand and Western Merv, so we can take cinnamon, and bring back rubies. And we'll pick up the rubies from here rather than there, just so that this ruby mine doesn't get ideas. Was it Ruby China or China Ruby? China Ruby, I think. It might help if I actually built the places first. Oh well, let's go to Chanang. This time go from northern Jingji. Then we go to Samarkand, then go to Western Magriana. There's not much you can do without building the thing there though. So I will. You know how I was saying, like 4 videos back, I think it was after the Phoenician thing, it's like how much I prefer playing with boats because you can just carry so much more stuff. And since then, there's not been a scenario where it's really been feasible. There was a little bit in the Persian one, but I think it gets less feasible before it gets more feasible. But this one's been terrible. It's like there has been rivers, but the rivers don't go anywhere, and you can't build canals, even though it tells you that you can. Anyway, yeah, well, what am I doing? I'm going to go to Kokand. Drop off 2. I don't like the potential waste there. So you've got to go to Western Merv, then up here, then down there. Oh well, it's better than letting this guy have the whip hand over me. And I'm all about that. So it's Western Merv is where the temple is, as opposed to regular Merv. So, Southern Samarkand. Oh, a filter function would be marvellous. Leave with golden ruby jewellery. And hopefully I'll do the same thing again. I'm fairly sure the demand is the same. Ooh, it could be tricky though, because golden ruby is slightly more precious. Still going to risk it though. What would also work is if you could press like L, and that would take you to the L's. I don't know how well that's work when most places begin with W or N. Probably N's. Probably more norths and northwesterns and south and southwesterns. Oh, there I am getting distracted again. There's northwestern Chanang. Then western Chanang. Shall I have it on half speed? Just to keep time moving. Western Chanang. And then Jingji. Lovely. I think you've got to do this to make the most of these long journeys, haven't you? Because otherwise it's wasted time. And there. Right, who wants a long and thankless task? Fine, I'll use one of these with military kickbacks. Right, that's all of the jewellery for the points. I can now look at jewellery for the fun. So I could do Antioch. Antioch Amethyst. Go to Parthia. I have a feeling that these aren't going to get serviced unless... Well, no, because the only bit of amethyst that's being created here is being exported straight out. Fur Palace Antioch. Price gouging, please. Here's a thing. No, because the fur's already going out. I'm talking about what's coming back. It'll help if I actually explain my thinking as well. Furs could bring back amethysts and drop off. Might be better than the bronze hand mirrors, because that demand is just not building up like it used to. Oh, very nice. If only I could do something about it. Right, where's the amethysts? Seems reasonable. Also, I've got it paused again. Oh, I have to have it paused in construction mode. I'm not sure why. And then there's the gold. That's Issus. I've heard of Issus. I'll tell you where I've heard of Issus from. It's one of the city names in Civilization 2 when you run out of your own civilization's city names. I think you end up with... Oh, it's famous. Is there a famous battle? Issus. Because you end up with basically the names of famous battles once you get through the list. Because some civilizations, such as Babylon, there's not a great deal of historical city names to go through. So then you suddenly go through to this list of generic ones, no matter what civilization you play off. And Cunaxa is one, Issus is another, and I think it goes through like Naples is one. I can't remember, but yeah, you know you built too many cities when that happens. Well, the game's telling you you've built too many cities. In a game like Civilization 2, there's no such thing as too many cities, if you're happy to put the time in. There's a smelter and a jeweler. I hope I've done all this right. Horrible feeling that I've put the wrong thing down somewhere. Ooh. Persuasion, you might get captured. Unlikely, but it might happen. So let's have amethyst. I've really got to standardise this. Amethyst, Antioch, local. I am keen on my V's today. Go to Berioia. Oh, that food. I feel almost chastised by how much money these food merchants are making, and I always try to avoid having them. Go to Issus. Leave with 4 golden amethyst jewellery, and then go. I'd be happy to avoid Antioch on this one. There's no point risking the low demand of the temple because the journey itself is going to be shorter than the one in Chanang. And also there's no point because there's palaces next door. So, go to AG, Eastern AG. Is it Western AG? No. And go to Parthia. Well, if ever being sneaky, I could come back with some amethyst from Hectopolis. But then what's the point? Because well, there's some outside Ecbatana as well. Because Antioch produces more, and also this mine's already being used. So it must be frustrating if you live in Hectopolis. You'll be there saying, we could produce this locally, and here we are with foreign gold and amethyst jewellery coming in. Although I guess if you're a decadent elite that's buying gold and amethyst, and I suppose you're not too fussed about where it comes from. It would be nice to bring something back, but I can't think of what. There's nothing here for the time being. I think, and don't quote me on this, there is another luxury or two. There must be another luxury or two that turns up because it's only 26 BC. There's another 250 years left of this scenario. Oh, I've got to get a wiggle on then. We've been doing this for an hour. Oh, I need to, always with the lack of soldiers. Off you go. If you make it, Congratulations. But again, you've got 4 hostile border crossings before you get there. I'd be inclined as well to take amethysts over into Samarkand. Now this one I wouldn't mind going to the temples as well. Amethyst, Antioch, export. He says, I hope I don't run out of merchants. Although I like to think because I'm engineering the route so it's doing something both ways, I'd be less inclined to run out. Also, I need to go back and fix that route. Because this is good. Then as soon as you get to AG, go to Merv, Western Merv. Nice. There is a famine of sorts of cloth, but that'd be a bit decadent. Then go to Samarkand. SA, Samarkand, and then Kokand. Ugh. It'd also be nice if the list sort of saved where you were. Now we'll get Li Yuan. Because you're selling so much to temples, it might help if you had somebody to boost the demand. Okay. Now what? Who's on the first route? So here's what I'm thinking. First Palace Antioch goes directly to Antioch. I presume there's demand for it. There is an Eastern Aegean. Not so much in Aegean regular. It'd make sense. You could take some furs to the temple. They'll appreciate them. They will appreciate them. Okay. Right. Now this changes things, because what do we take on the way back? Actually, why change it? Right. I keep saying right and nothing changes. Go to Eastern Aksu. Go straight to the AG. Go to Eastern AG. Forget about this place. Go to Antioch as well. Antioch likes furs. As Eastern AG takes 2. What have we done wrong here? Leave Daxo. Go straight to AG. 3, 1. Antioch 0. I can still do the bronze route, or do I go and take incense and amethysts to the Tarim Basin? I'm liking the sound of that. And in fact, there's some incense over here, isn't there? No, that's a vineyard. That's the incense. I'll do that. Hold that thought. Moving away from bronze mirrors. I'll still have some bronze mirrors somewhere, presumably. Hope I don't overload that amethyst mine. But then again, it's only 2. I missed something here. No, I just haven't done half the route. So rather than go to Southern Apmere, go to Southwestern Apmere. So it's not far off. Leave with 2 incense and none. Go to Beroia. With 2 amethysts and 2 incense, then go to Issus with gold amethyst jewellery and incense. Then go straight to the Tarim Basin. Now you'll surely buy gold and amethyst jewellery. You'll buy cinnamon, no problem. There's Kucha. 1 and 1, and then to Turfan. Why does T have to be so far down in the alphabet? Okay. That's fine, and I can start looking at going from Eastern Aksu to, say, Samarkand. But before we do, take some furs to Lulan. I don't think either of those were useful. And after all that, I've now brought myself down to below 6 figures. Never mind. Og's Harness, yes. And I know just the place I would use that. Not on these routes here, but certainly on this route. Oh, that's useful. You right click on that and it adds it. That is a life changer. Presumably do the same with cinnamon on the other route. Is there enough demand for cinnamon? There's always enough demand for cinnamon. Although, I think we'd be more comfortable if they stopped off at Lulan first. I'd be more comfortable, but I'm not willing to put the effort in to update the route. Okay, there's food 1, that's worth upgrading. Food 2, possibly. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. Any others that are local? I could do that and halve the number of people that are on that route. What's the demand for bronze mirrors like? It's not great, actually. Ooh, wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, and I can take somebody off of the Mirrors China route. Someone like you. New orders, none. And remember, Lo Tzu is free to do another route. And I think I've got just the route for him. So we'll go to the Tarim Basin and we'll say Tarim Export. But Tarim Export to where? Take some furs. Take some furs to Samarkand. Go to Samarkand, pick up a ruby. Go to Parthia, pick up an amethyst. Go to the Jade Gates, pick up some silk, and then go back to Lulan. Oh, that sounds like a faff of a journey. Let's give it a try. So Eastern Aksu is where all the furs are. On a wheeled tray, because we're not doing this on an ox cart, it'll take forever. 4 fur. Go to Samarkand. I'll go to actually Samarkand. Let's have it on half speed. Yes. Go to Southern Samarkand. Pick up a ruby. It's a shame you can't do that and just add it to the market at hand. Fur coats. They'll take them in Merv. They'll take them and like them in Merv. There's nothing special about selling to a palace. You could quite easily go to a temple instead. In fact, let's do that. Go to Western Merv. Deposit a fur coat, but maintain a ruby. Go to Parthia. May as well go to Hectomplos. God, this is complicated. Well, it's not complicated. It's just it's just a bit of a faff. I hope it works out. There's a lot of room for error. I'll put it that way. So if one of those, take a ruby. Hands off me furs. Ruby. And one fur coat. Actually, why don't I sell the coats at Western Herat? Just to save me having to click on fur coat icon all the time. Now go to Hectompolus. Pick up an amethyst, pick up a ruby. I could turn them both into things right now. May as well. It's probably got an abundance of gold there. Go to Western Zatracada, turn them into one of each. Go back to Eastern Aktsu. Pick up a fur coat. That and that. Go to wherever it is in the Jade Gates. Western Zhuzhou. With a silk. A fur coat. Gold. Amethyst. Before finishing off gracefully at Lulan. Where you will hopefully make your fortune. And they demand all of those. Even silks. So I'll call that Tarim Export. And then you go back to Eastern Aktsu. Nice. Right, Lotsu, you've got nothing to do, so you can do Tarim Export. Right. I feel like there's some gaps somewhere. I mean, if I was a bit more sensible about it, I guess I could have Tarim Export to China and Tarim Export to the Middle East, doing furs both ways. As soon as I start producing it. Isn't that always the way? Right, I don't think much is happening at the moment, so let's take a look. What's happening here? You're just waiting around. Is anybody waiting around in a manner that looks like it wouldn't be very good? You seem to be going in the wrong way. Oh, that's why. You've got to go an awful long way. Can I shorten that by putting a path? No is the answer. I think that mountain goes all the way across. Yep. I could cut off a sliver, I guess. But it would be a sliver. Yeah, whatever. Could burn that money. Right, so many new routes to establish. Get out. There we go. Ivory. I didn't think that was one of the luxuries that would crop up. Well, it looks like we can do something with that. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, not to jinx it, but it looks like this is all working fine. Ivory, right. Get out. Well, you don't... Oh, you do produce ivory. Well, there's some tribal camps. In fact, you're already producing ivory. What do we do with it? I don't know. Marble quarrying. Ah, now that's the one I thought. Because you can sculpt marble and you can sculpt ivory. Get out. There's nothing even there yet. Are you going to be able to make it? You've got one more... You've got one more journey to make. Otherwise you've got to start right from the beginning again. Sculpting. Okay, here we go. Antioch. You've got a marble quarry and you've got ivory. Chang'an, I think, has neither. Right, what do you like in terms of... You like... well, you don't like much. What about the palaces? Again, I've seen better demand. Oh well. Palace and temple. It's just palaces and temples that take them, but that's fine. Get off. Let's take a look then at Cinnamon Palace, Antioch. You're bringing incense back with you. Is anybody bringing bronze mirrors back? And can I take something off of that? Silk Palace, Antioch. Huh. The problem I have is that there's very little that's produced now in China. Apart from wine, I could take some wine, I guess. Oh, surely wine is made in Antioch. Oh, definitely. Nice. I didn't like that. Animal husbandry is top notch. I don't know. Also, how many points am I making from special? A fair bit. I'm quite impressed with that. What's the closest place that produces... no ivory here. Of course. What elephants are there in the Gobi Desert? Samarkand. So Parthia is the closest to Chanang that we can get with marble and ivory. No. Yes. Sculpture, we can make... Ah, this is interesting. Demands marble to make marble statuary. But not ivory. You can't get an ivory carver in Parthia. You have to go to Antioch to carve your ivory. I feel like that ought to mean something. It doesn't particularly. Now, how do I do this without wasting everybody's time? I don't know. So I currently have a two-way street where silk goes out of China and then bronze mirrors get brought back. But China doesn't produce enough stuff that Antioch wants. Antioch produces plenty. It's got amethysts and incense and marble and ivory. China has silk and cinnamon, and that's it. For China Palace, lovely. Uh-oh. Oh, come on, you got so far as well. Oh, Li Yuan, Amethyst Antioch export. Chances are you're probably never going to get there. Okay, we're 2 AD. Welcome to the ADs. What's the demand for cinnamon like here? Insatiable. Satiable. Satiable. Okay. So we can take cinnamon out and then bring statues back, one of each. Antioch, ivory, China. I still can't help say China with a hard Ch. It's good. It's very good. It's China. So curl the lips up. Said with feeling. Southwestern apnea. On a wheeled dray, because I've got all the time in the world. Go straight to Chanang. Well, everywhere is equal, so may as well go to Ling Zhao, to Jijing. No. What's that with feeling? Start in Chanang, so at least you can get some guards before you leave. So start in Western Xinjiang. Or Jingji. Which I think they're still happy to supply all the cinnamon. Then go to Antioch, where you can sell one cinnamon to AG. 1 to Eastern AG. No, 2 to Eastern AG. 1 to AG. Go to Antioch. Pick up. No, not go. Not, yeah. Yeah, I know what I meant. I know what I meant. I just didn't say it. And that's. I kind of lose something there. Go to Southwestern Atmere. Pick up 4 ivory statuettes. Then go to Chanang. Go to Linjiao. Northwestern Chanang. Western Chanang. Or Chang'an. I'd forgotten I was supposed to be focusing on saying Chang'an properly. I don't know if I am saying it properly. It just feels like I'm saying it better than I was. And I go to Jingji. Good. You could probably have a couple of people on this route, actually. Largely because ivory statuettes don't command a huge price. And that's why demand builds up so. Like, it's really clever, the demand, supply and demand in this game. Whoa. The very reason I've done it this way around. Save. New person. Sun Tzu. Off you go. And then marble quarries. Ah, lovely. There's 2 together there. I'll take you to there. Antioch Ivory China do exactly the same thing, but instead we call it marble. Save. And then just change all of these to... well, first change this to Southern Barovia. Get off. Don't forget to build a sculptor, whatever you do. So much better having things happening both ends. I'm gonna do this now before I forget. Sculptor. There. Taitsu, you're going to go... Oh, leadership. That's fine, because you're probably going to get into a lot of fights on the way. Marble China. Now we can look at local demand for... We can do local demand for both marble and... Although, is it worth it? I mean, it's not exactly worth a great deal, is it? 450. It's better than poke in the eye. Get out. What's Liu Pei doing? He's going all the way western to Rat. Incense. The bronze hand mirror situation's still not getting any better. Ooh. Oh, there's room for more there. There's room for some golden ruby as well. But what we could do, rather than Antioch supplying it, there's no reason why Parthia couldn't supply marble. It's off. Well, they're getting quite tough now, actually. Parthia supplies marble. But can you sculpt the marble? Yes, you can. To Samarkand, and in return, Samarkand provides rubies. That works. Don't think anybody else is supplying rubies, are they? Will you just leave me alone? We've got China ruby. And the export of rubies to, well, to Rim Basin. But there's nothing stopping a bit of trade between Samarkand and Parthia. Nice. Because to show you that you don't have to go too far to make a bit of a profit. I don't think anywhere supplying rubies locally here, are they? No. So you could do a jewellery run. No! Why on earth would I want that? I mean, I know I'm not struggling for cash, but I'm also not a fool. Could use the sail for all that water that we use. So amethyst is already being supplied here. Ruby is not being supplied to Samarkand. But that's fine, I can deal with that. Sculptor there, and then sculptures out, ruby in. Ruby marble, Sam, Path. So what I might do with this one is actually supply all the rubies here as well. So start at southern Samarkand. Why is ruby demand so much higher here than anywhere else? Looks like the temples aren't as keen as the palaces. Oh yeah. Okay, so perhaps we'll just do palaces then. But the marble we will do... I don't know. Let's start with one thing at once. Let's start with the ruby at southern Samarkand on a wheeled dray. Although I possibly could use an ox for this, particularly with the marble on the other side. Go to Western Magyana. Although that is a lot of doubling back though, isn't it? Ah well. Western Magyana with 4 gold rubies, then go up to Samarkand. And then to regular Merv. Another dog barking in the background. Ugh. Right, now go to Parthia. I'm thinking go to Hectomphilos, Ecbatana, pick up 4. Or what's the best way of doing this? I want to try to satiate all the just do it all in one sitting, but in the most efficient way possible. Go to Southern Pascade, pick up 2, sell 1 of each to Ecbatana, go back to Southern Pascade. Or do I go to Samarkand, sell 1, sell 2. I don't know. Let's try. Go to Southern Pascade. Pasargadai, sorry. I don't know. I don't know who I'm apologising to. Some irate Persians who are watching. And pick up 2 marble statues. Now you can go to Ecbatana and to Hectomphilos. Then go back to Southern Pascade. Southern Pascade. Pasargadai. How have I not got this by now? Oh well, just a bit thick, I guess. There's 1 ruby, 1 marble statue. Yes, then you go up to there. Then you come down to Southern Pasargadai, where you turn into an ox cart. Pick up 6. Go to Western Herat. We'll keep the game running slightly. Sell 1. I think it's Western Merv, then Merv. Then Bactra, Samarkand, and Kokand. I think that's everything. Marble. Why does M have to be so far down in the alphabet? I could probably do something similar with ivory, but I don't feel inclined to. You go to Kokand, then you go to Southern Samarkand and start it all over again. In fact, you want to be a wheeled dray then. In fact, a wheeled dray when you can be. And only turn into an ox cart when you need to. There. Well, that's painless enough. Right. Who's free? Oh yeah. Every time. I've forgotten what that route was called. Ruby Marble Sandpath. Ammo up. There we go. And persuasion, because you'll probably get kidnapped at some point. Ruby Marble Sandpath. Off you go, have fun. Right, what do we do about ivory? Could probably pick up 6. What's currently done with ivory? It just goes straight out to China. So there's no reason I can't do an ivory export, but then what do I bring back to, say, Parthia? Maybe I bring marble back. Well, they produce their own marble, but just so it's not a wasted journey. Doesn't sound like a bad idea, actually. I'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the game's paused again. I just have just a natural affinity to play games as slowly as possible. Oh, it's getting dark. I'll put the light on. There we go. You got to try and find me for a single bronze mirror. And I end up winning more than that bronze mirror was worth. Okay. So new routes. Ivory, Antioch, ivory, export, path. So we've got southwestern Apnea. Oh, Li Yuan. You're never going to get there. Amethyst Antioch export. I'll deal with it as soon as I've saved this route. Because I'm not typing all that out again. I think Ekbatana is the next route there. Right, save that. Amethyst Antioch export. I don't know. I don't particularly want to change the route. But it's already cost me 1,600. They've not done anything yet. I wish there was some way. I wouldn't mind paying for the troops just straight out of the headquarters, but I don't want to put a market in just so it's in China. I've got an idea. So remember, there's Li Yuan on the Amethyst Antioch export route. If he goes to somewhere like Southern Anding, picks up some troops, does he then hold on to those troops? Let's find out. New God up. Jingji. A whole bunch of soldiers. And I don't know. Western Jingji. Again, with a whole bunch of soldiers. Save. Remember, it's Amethyst Antioch export. Why are you not going faster? You're on the road. Also remember, it's Amethyst Antioch export. Right. Li Yuan. You've now got guards. Go to Amethyst Antioch export. Huh. There we go. Useful to know. Although it's now going to do it on a camel. So that's going to take forever. Nope, not having that. Ooh. Oh, it's another... I think this is produced in Antioch. It's yet another thing that Antioch produces that China doesn't. Glass. Right. Now you can go on the Amethyst Antioch export route. And hopefully be able to do something with it. Well, that doesn't seem that much faster to me. Oh, that is not worth it. Glass. Who produces glass? Fairly sure Antioch does. There's a bunch of sand pits there. Parthia? No sand. There's plenty of sand in Parthia. Persia's nothing but deserts and mountains. And I refuse to be persuaded. I've yet to hear evidence to the contrary. I understand it was quite a fertile once. They had a irrigation system that was fantastic, and the Mongols came and destroyed it. It's never been the same since. That's the Mongols for you, ruining everything for everyone. And yet, there's people that will just happily defend them because it's great. It's Genghis Khan was an empire builder, and he was bringing the world together. It's like, yeah, through the crushing of skulls. People talk about the evils of imperialism, and yet seem to just say, "Oh no, yeah, the Mongols were fine. That's good imperialism." It's the worst kind of imperialism. It didn't provide anything, apart from it actually made the Silk Road quite stable for a time. But only insofar as like most people that would have been bandits were killed in the Mongol conquests. I mean, good grief. Now, what's the route that I was? There's Antioch Marble Export Path. Right. On an ox cart, take all your ivories. Now this was... I say it's an export route, but these people aren't getting marble ivory statues, are they? Okay, go on a wheeled dray and go to Antioch, the AGEs. Then go back to southwestern Apnea. Turn you into a market so we just get more ivory in. S, that's further down than that. South western Apnea. I've made that mistake before. Made that mistake in the Phoenician episode. Twice! You go to Ecbatana, Hectomphalus, Western Herat, and somewhere else. Oh, Hectomphalus provides a double. You go to Western Herat, and then to Southern Pasargadae. Pick up 4, then go to Antioch. No, go to the AGs, and then go to Antioch. Lovely. Then you pick up these. I say it's lovely. I'm doing ivory trading again. Just can't help it. I can't stop poaching. Just can't stop being the bad guy. You want to carry 3 out of there. Hectomphalus, you want to carry 1 out. And Western Herat, that's fine. You got Southern Pasargadae. You go to AGE. So much clicking. Eastern AGE, drop 2. And then Antioch. Lovely. Now we get a new merchant on the go who is an escape artist, because there's going to be a lot of crossing of boundaries. Actually, no, let's have honest reputation, because it's only crossing 1 boundary. We'll get you to guard up. Good lord, you're slow. It is useful to note as well. Get them on a proper transport vessel first. This would be a useful way of getting them on a decent vessel that will take them places. I'll now go to Antioch Ivory Export Path. Now, if I go to Samarkand, what would they bring back? Rubies is the only thing I can see. Maybe brass lamps, but I'm not seeing it. It's just no. I mean, I don't have to bring something back, but if you're going to travel all that way, you may as well. I mean, they could do bronze hand mirrors. It's of all things. It's the... It's the China silk export route that brings back some of the bronze. Could I change that so it doesn't bring back bronze and brings back something else? No, I can't be bothered. Why would I? I mean, there's a perfectly serviceable bronze production site over here. I spent a lot of money on that. It's just a shame that nobody's particularly interested in the bronze. They are at Hectamphilus. And how much do temples like bronze mirrors? Not at all. Well, it's vanity, isn't it? Oh, I'm not liking that demand. Sun Tzu, he's doing all right. He's breaking even at least, and that's something considering how far he's having to go, and the relative low cost of. He must have already done that route already once over, and that's all profit from here on out. He doesn't have to buy that wheeled dray again. What route's he on? No. Why is he empty? Nice. Now, is anybody idle or having problems? Who is Cao Tsung? And why is he having problems? Ruby Marble, Sam Path. Cao Tsung. Huh, well, at least the ransom was waived. Ruby Marble. What's wrong with that route? He just never got there, which means he needs to guard up first. And remember, Ruby Marble, Sam Path. I've entirely forgotten about these cities in here. Amethyst, Antioch, local. Good. And despite that, they seem to be doing just fine. God, this Silk Road's dangerous, isn't it? Nice. Cloth 1. Leadership. You could have got to cross 2 boundaries to get there. That's what's frustrating about cotton. It's a relatively low value plebeian good. It has to cross 2 boundaries like it was a luxury. I'm not liking these odds. They're pretty low. Actually, that cotton's been satiated. Sort of. Increased patrols. Nice. I ought to sort them out for a bit. What kind of route is it? Uncommon mod route. What was it before? I don't do a great deal of selling to these. Probably on the grounds that if I'm selling to China, I'll go to Chang'an and get the points. And what points? I'm now a promising businessman. I'm quite a way off from making it to merchant prince. China ruby. Price gouging. Okay, what am I selling to Chang'an? And can I extend that to Jade Gates? Oh, look at all that. What's the demand for cinnamon like? Insatiable. Satiated. Really satiated. Oh, God. In fact, was it $2.99 there? How much do you buy it for? $1.10. He's struggling to make a profit. Oh my. That's because I'm trying to sell cinnamon to a palace. Need to think this through. Part of me at this point is just thinking, build a temple at Aegea. A-E-G-E-A-E. I'll have a consonant, please, Val. Foul? Consonant, please, Carol. That's a reference that I got wrong. That didn't make much sense in the first place. Right, what do I do about this? Because I've got a feeling all my cinnamon routes are set up like this. Antioch Marble China. Antioch Ivory China's doing the same. Antioch Marble China. And Antioch Amethyst China? Well, I say that. I'm still selling. I mean, cinnamon already gets sold to most places. Well, Antioch could do with a bit of love. Okay, what about if we go to, say, Antioch Ivory China? They seem to be able to handle it. It's AG that's not being able to handle it, so instead of going to AGE, just go straight to Antioch. What was the other one? Probably Antioch Marble China. Although I would be inclined to see if we can't sell some, I don't know, Western Herat or something. Yeah, I'll do that. We'll go to Western Herat. Sell one there. Sell one at AG. And then 2 at Antioch? Yeah, something like that. Right, let's see what the next 200 years brings. What are we on? 2 hours in. I think we could get this done in one sitting. Oh my. Why have you not got any guards? And can you flee? Ah. Tarim export. Good lord. How long has that been like that? Well, where's Lotsu? I won't find out on that screen. He never had any guards to lose. So he was on Tarim export. Fine. Lost a lot of fur coats that day. Hope they appreciate them. Neo is suffering a sudden outbreak of influenza. Medicine is urgently required. We don't have any medicine. Ah, I think that's something that's developed later. Medicine. I can export medicine to Antioch in lieu of cinnamon, which might help things quite a bit. Silk China Palace. Price gouging. Ah, we're on to 200,000 now. Such a point where... Oh, there we go. Herb farming. So the event gave the Game Boy there. Had an event for a commodity that hadn't yet arrived. I will purchase that. Okay, so we've got in Chanang. You produce medicinal plants. And Jade Gates also produces medicinal plants. Although you wouldn't have guessed it. Oh wait, there's some there. Okay. Close trading post at northwestern Jingji. Production, medicine. And now let's take a look at Antioch Ivory, China. That works. So instead of that, you go to northwestern Jingji. That's N, a bit further down. Northwestern Jingji with medicine. Who demands medicine? I think it's both temples and... Well, temples do, and palaces probably do as well. No, it's just temples. Well, that's fine. We'll just sell to Eastern AG because that's where the temple is. And then one to Antioch because that's where the temple is. Blah, blah, blah. Lovely. Now, Now that China has another export, does that help things? Possibly. But I'm not taking glass until it becomes a glass of colour. Because I'm pretty sure dye turns up at some point. Persuasion. Uprisings in Chang'an have made food scarce and have soured the markets for luxuries. That's not what I wanted to hear, game. Oh well, what are you doing? You're trying to sell cinnamon to a place that just isn't interested. Interesting. So why don't you... Oh, because I don't want to add a market in there. It's just going to be a faff. Yeah, what I'm thinking is insert medicine into the route, northwestern Jingji. All right. What's that? Turfan, Kucha. Turfan, Kucha, southwestern Aksu. Or southern Aksu. S, southern Aksu. And then update all of this. Now, I don't know quite how to divide this up. So maybe I don't. Maybe I just say that. That's all you're getting. And Turfan gets a bit of medicine. A taste of the road medicine, you might say. You go to Kucha. No, you go to Kucha where everything is sold. And then you go to southern Aksu where we pick up some cotton cloth. Wine, animal husbandry. Been marginally more effective than anything else. Forget about it. Anybody else stuck? You're trying to sell mirrors to a place that isn't interested. Still a good price for them, though. Right, managed to quell that disorder. Good. The increased patrols between Zagros, Antioch, Parthia. Nice, I could have done that. Done with that earlier on when that merchant got caught up twice in a row. Escape artist. I'm fairly happy with this. I think we've got it all set up quite nicely. There is more I can do. How much do medicines sell for? Escape artist, why not? 450. That's not bad. There's probably more I could do with that. What's the market like for gold? Maybe we could go and bring back some more fur coats from Tarim Basin. What else do people need or want? There's more jewellery to bring back. So that might be an idea. Set off with 4 medicine and go to Samarkand and Parthia and come back with more jewellery. How much medicine have we got here? That's alright. In fact, why don't I do that with the Jade Gates? We'll set that up there. We could do something similar to what we did with what's it called? The ivory routes. Just do all the domestic demand first and then head on out. So if we say new Jade Gates medicine Medicone? Medicine export. I guess I'll know what that means. And then was it southern? No, it wasn't. Western Xinjiao. That begins with a W. W was further down in the alphabet. Jiahuan. On an ox cart. Go to regular Jiahuan. Go to Zushu. Or Susho, sorry, it begins with an S. And then it's that's only palaces that want them. No, it's only temples that want them. Palaces aren't interested in medicine. Or sort of not interested. It's certainly not worth my time. I was doing that thing then where I was just scrolling through wondering why I couldn't find Kokand while going between the lower half of the alphabet. We've got Kokand, we've got Bactra, Western Herat. I'm getting better at this, I think. Hopefully, I don't think we'll ever have a scenario with this many land routes again, and that will hopefully make the list a bit better to play around with. Then you go to Western Sadra thingy whatnot. Then we go. Where do we go? There's some Arcans. It's the Oxus River. Then to Western Margiana. Then to Susho, Changyi. Actually, no. Forget those. There's more points to be sold going to Chanang and helping with the demand in Jingji. So we'll do that instead. Jingji and Western Chanang. Antioch? No, thank you. Right. Save that. Build a medicine. And then we'll do all that all over again. Ugh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And then we go to Hectompolis, where we pick up 2. Go to Western Sadricado, we turn it into 2. Then we go to the Oxus River. We pick up 2, but maintain 2. We then go to Western Margiana, where we turn that into that and hold on to those. And then we go to Gingy. 1 of each, and then we go back to there. That's not so hard. And then presumably we'll use wheeled drays where we can. And then ox carts where we can't. And load ourselves up. Arm ourselves up to the teeth. That's fine. And hopefully we'll get somebody that's an escape artist, because he's going to have to make this route across here, which is not too... Actually, no, there's no bandit present, so quick. Go, go, go while you still can. And I think that's pretty much everything covered. Tarim export. Price gouging. I was thinking, do I want it to make a safer journey, or do I want to make more money? And then I thought, what a daft question. Oh, I just sent the merchant over there, unguarded. Come back. Oh no, he made it through, okay. Anybody have any problems? Oh no, I managed to sell them. Hands off me marble statues. Price gouging. Gouge that food. There's money to be made. Ooh, lacquer. I'd forgotten about that. China amethyst, price gouging. So we can bring lacquer, take that to Antioch rather than cinnamon, which might help with something. Thank you. And we're coming to the 2.5 hour mark again now. I was hoping to get this into 2 parts. I think I'm going to cut it off here and just have a really action-packed, like half an hour part 3, which I think will just be finished off with what? 200 years left. But I can't be dealing with setting up a new trade route just yet. Especially since it's going to be clicking in all the wrong places. There's your timber, your varnish trees. I didn't know varnish grew on trees. I didn't know quite what it was. I know that lacquer does. Again, through Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, I have made lacquerware before. But I haven't personally. But I'm learning things. So yeah, that means there's no points to be made from exporting it to here. But there is quite a bit to be made in Antioch, because nobody outside of China makes lacquerware. And rightly so. Right, with that, I think that's That was a slow second episode. I was feeling at some point the commentary was somewhat lacking, but I was just well, it's just setting up routes, isn't it? I have to apologise for that. And hopefully, the next one will be a sprightly, short, sharp, money-making romp through 200 years. And if you did enjoy this rather dry setting up of trade routes, well, had its excitement at some point. It was just my commentary let it down, I think. It was an exciting concept of like, oh, here's something else we could take from one part of Antioch and then bring back to Chang'an. And developing trade routes between Parthia and Samarkand, and having Turan Basin have its own localized export market for furs, so that Lulan gets some of the good stuff. It's the kind of thing I could imagine it happening organically. You'd see that a local merchant in Lulan knows that there's stuff here, so why not just have a trade route as if it was centered in Tarim Basin? I mean, that's not a bad way of thinking about it, particularly in terms of keeping the trade routes relatively short. Because if you say, well, what's made in Samarkand? Well, you've got gems. Where can I export gems to? And you say, well, either side, really. So, I seem to have sort of fired up the commentary now that I've stopped playing, but that's to get you geared up for the next time. And as a spur on to, if you do fancy commenting, I live for video comments. I respond to pretty much all of them, I think. Unless they're more than 2 years old, in which case it'd be weird to get something in your inbox from a comment that you'd left and then since forgotten about, and somebody just came back and said, well, actually, I think you're wrong. Well, I don't think I've ever said that. I don't think I'm that irate. I think I'm quite pleasant in my comment in response to the commentaries. Also, feel free to like. Also, feel free to dislike. I'd rather you didn't, but I'd rather have an honest appraisal. And feel free to share this with well, anybody really. You can have it as a challenge to go out there and recommend to somebody the watching of a Let's Play video. Just to see what the response is. Although I perhaps wouldn't recommend this one, or even one of mine. There's probably better videos to share. But for the love of God, share this video, because I've now gone through the calls to actions, I think they're called in the business. The one that says like, comment, and subscribe. And subscribe as well. I'm finding a lot of retention actually comes back. A lot of video views actually, half of them come back from people that are already subscribers. So thank you very much for subscribing and then following through with the subscription and going on and watching the video. And with that, I seem to have taken that rather light-hearted thing and just a throwaway remark of feel free to like, into almost a harangue. And I think that's a good place to leave it. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.